Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Asian Psycho, and some of you guys have requested this video, others you may have not, but this is going to be kind of like a review, I guess, of the new map called Crystal Tower. This Crystal Tower came out with the most recent patch that came out on, I believe, April 17, 2014. So if you're watching this video in the future, then this, depending on how far in the future you're watching this, this may or may not be new information. But at the time of this upload, this is all going to be, relatively new information because, it's a new map and not everyone's got a chance to play it, for a long time so far, not like other maps anyway. So let's get right into it. So Crystal Tower, because this is a review, I guess I have to talk about the good and bad things, I guess. Yes, like I always do, right? Anyways, so the good things about Crystal Tower is that Crystal Tower, first of all, is a new map, and just being a new map kind of gives a fresh new feel to Combat Arms. At least in my opinion. There are people out there who obviously who, even if it's a new map, if they don't like it right off the bat, then it's like, no way, I'm not going to play on that map anymore, and that's fine. Not all maps are cups of tea for everyone else. But me in particular, I really like it when they release new maps, unless it's like extremely horrible, like fucking Dark Forest or whatever that map is called, that no one fucking plays. But Crystal Tower, it's very fun. Just right out the bat. It's got a good color scheme. I mean, everything's bright like a good map should be. You don't want to be playing on a dark map because, for God's sake, you won't be able to see fucking anything. It just The map layout feels very fresh. It doesn't feel like the standard Combat Arms-esque style map. This may have to be attributed to the fact that Crystal Tower was, in fact, a fan submitted map. I believe Combat Arms, or Nexon in particular, held like a map designing contest where fans could design the next map, and they basically turned it into a reality. So apparently, Crystal Tower was the design that won, or came from the design that won the contest, and maybe that's why it doesn't feel like a standard Combat Arms map. It's linear. Don't get me wrong. It's completely linear. The map is split in half and basically flip-flopped, as most linear maps are, but it's kind of linear in a way where it's not like linear in other Combat Arms maps. So, like, for example, you think of, let's see, what's a very linear Combat Arms map? Actually, now that I say that, it's like I can't think of any linear Combat Arms maps. Oh shit! But say, for example, like maps like Sector 25. Sector 25 is a very linear map. It's very split down. Split down the half. Both sides are basically identical, with a few cosmetic changes here and there, and three entryways with a few rush routes in the middle. That's kind of your typical cookie cutter Combat Arms linear style map. Crystal Tower is interesting in the fact it's linear. I mean, you have your clear-cut pathways where you can go, and both sides of them, or both halves of the map are basically the same to each other. But there's a lot of other kind of routes, like alternate routes that you can take. Off the spawn, I think you have like at least 4 ways you can go, like right off the rip. And from those 4 ways, you can split off to go wherever you want and maneuver around the map. If you want to go to the other side of the map, it's very risky, but the trade-off for that is that if you can reach the other side of the map, like the enemy side of the map, then you have a lot of cover, where in that all the glass on the map is completely bulletproof, meaning that you can actually see where people are coming from. Now, this is kind of debatable. I'm going to be talking about this a little bit later, but the fact that you can see through the glass, at least in the middle portion of the map, and you're hanging around there, can give you an advantage on the other side of the map, or when you're on the enemy side of the map, because it gives you a chance to fight back, in that you can see where enemies are coming from, and thus you can kind of position yourself accordingly. You can, so you know where the enemy's coming from, and you can just run away whenever you need to, and engage them whenever you feel like you have the upper hand. So in that sense, the map Crystal Tower is very, very interesting. Another good thing about Crystal Tower is that it's very, well, again, just like any other good map. It caters to a variety of gameplay styles. Obviously, you're gonna have your campers. Crystal Tower definitely has its long range engagements, but for rushers like me, you can maneuver the map very easily to where you can force close quarters engagements. If you can rush the sniper nests, as I like to call it, the sniper rooftops, with SMGs or close range assault rifles, without them ever knowing, then fuck. Depending on how many people who are up there, that's an easy 2, 3, maybe even 4 piece that you can get right off the rip, and like basically at minimal cost because they won't expect you coming there. If they've got people to watch out their flanks or whatever, then maybe you're gonna have a tougher time. But generally speaking, those people who are camping up there aren't gonna be paying attention and just trying to counter snipe the snipers, snipeception. But yeah, another good thing about Crystal Tower is the fact that because the majority of the map, except for initial spawns in the lobbies, the rest of the map is just basically like glass. It's see-through glass. So it's good in the sense that you can see. It's like having wall hacks built into the map. You can see everyone coming from everywhere as long as you pay attention. For the most part, if they're standing on the glass, not only can you see them coming, but also when people try to put mines down, you can see the mines very easily. Whereas in contrast to other maps where there are places where people can put mines and you hardly won't see them at all unless you're actually consciously looking for them. And if they try putting mines on the glass, it'll be annoying, but at least you can see them. And if you get blown up by them, you have no one to blame but yourself because you saw them in the first place. So in that sense, mines aren't as useful. I say that now, but fuck, man. Let's be honest. Mines are fucking overpowered. Mines still have their place in any map, no matter what map it is. So, but the fact that mines don't necessarily have that much of an impact on Crystal Tower because you can see them so easily is a benefit, because whatever you can do or whatever Nexon can do to nerf the power of mines is obviously very good. And if you use mines, not only are you bad, but you should feel bad because you're bad. So stop using them, fucker. Now let's move on to what I don't feel are very good aspects of Crystal Tower. In other words, their downfalls. I think the biggest downfall of Crystal Tower is the fact that it can tend to become very spawn campy. It definitely seems like Alpha side is for some weird reason the dominant side or the stronger side on Crystal Tower. I don't know why, but all the games I've played thus far, whenever I played Crystal Tower ever since its release, for some reason Alpha side always wins. I don't understand why. The map is completely linear. There's really no difference between the two. But usually, for whatever reason, things just turn out like this. I usually play on Bravo side. Usually I lose. I think I've only won one game on Bravo side, and I haven't played that many games on Alpha side. But every time I would play on Alpha side, I won. I don't know what's up with Alpha side on Crystal Tower, but it seems like it's a stronger side. So if you want to win on Crystal Tower, probably want to join Alpha side. Just heads up there. So I can't quite put my finger on why Alpha side is stronger, but if Nexon can try figuring out why that is, that'd probably be good, because for a linear map, theoretically speaking, one single side shouldn't be better than the other if the map is completely same on both sides. This really makes sense. In any case, but yeah, I do think that that's the single biggest disadvantage of playing on Crystal Tower, is that usually Alpha side wins. Don't know why, but they do. Another bad thing about Crystal Tower is the fact that the glass, or the majority of the map, is basically see-through. Because you can see, like I said, because you have wall hacks built into the game via the see-through glass in the middle of the map, which takes up a lot of the map and hence dictates like a lot of the gunfights that happen on the map. It's like people usually tend to play very conservatively and tend to pre-fire a lot. Now, I don't blame them, because I do that too. Because you can see people. If you see people, then fuck, you will pre-fire. It's just name of the game. But because of that, I feel like the smarter players will tend to kind of camp back more, if you know what I mean, and they'll stay on their side of the map and just wait for people to come to them, and they'll win the majority of guns because they'll know when the enemies will be pushing them, and they can just wait for them and just spray them when they come around the corner. And they have, I guess, they have an latency advantage. I'm not really too sure how latency works, but usually most of the time, if you're on the defensive end of someone walking around a corner and you know they're coming, usually you should win most of the time if you have good enough aim and your weapon doesn't fail on you. So that's another thing that I don't like about Crystal Tower, is the fact that I feel like if you have a room full of good players that know what they're doing and they're not total fucking scrubs, then they'll probably just play they'll probably try to pre-fire each other to no end. And what I imagine would happen is, there would be hardly any close quarters gunfights, and instead everyone just turned into like a long range gunfight simulator where everyone's counter snipe each other with long range assault rifles and fucking sniper rifles. So yeah, that's one of the bad things I'd say about Crystal Tower. Those are two biggest things by far. Another really glaringly big problem about Crystal Tower is the fact that it's Crystal Tower kind of reminds me of Oil Rig, where the pitcher perk is insanely fucking overpowered. Again, if you guys don't know, the pitcher perk, if you don't have it, then I don't know. I deleted mine because I don't really like using it because it's fucking overpowered and it takes up too much inventory slots. So I got rid of it. But if you still do have it, then I guess that you'd still use it, because why wouldn't you use it? It's a fucking overpowered perk on any map that doesn't have no explosives restriction on. Basically what it does is it lets you throw grenades insanely far. I think it's like 2 or 3 times as further as you normally would without the pitcher perk. So you just look at Crystal Tower and you can immediately tell pitcher is the factor. It's the factor perk. If you don't have it, then that single perk dictates how you play the game. If you go into a Crystal Tower room that doesn't have the no explosives on, then what you can do is just basically stack on explosives on explosives, namely nades, because they don't take a primary, or I say that, but in any case, you can put on a lot of freaking nades, and you can just start chucking them across either the glass hallway, the main hallway in the middle of the map, or you can just chuck them across the air in between the sniper nests to and fro. And not only that, but you can also toss them onto the rooftops of the glass ceilings, where you don't have to expose yourself from the sniper nest, and you can just lob nades everywhere. Basically, there's no place on the map that is a major traffic area that you wouldn't be able to access without a grenade with pitcher. That's the problem with Crystal. I think arguably that might actually be the biggest problem with Crystal Tower. If you do not have the no explosive perk, or if you do not have the no explosive restriction on, the fact that pitcher can access any major part of the map is, I would say, borderline game breaking for the map. Sure, yeah, you can just bring an RPG if the game room doesn't have perks allowed, but let's face it, most games, most maps or most rooms do allow explosives, and they do allow abilities. And what are you gonna do? You just have to deal with the fact that people are just gonna be throwing pitcher nades across the goddamn map, and what you have to do is basically just play fucking what. Dodge the grenade? Is that what we're playing here? I'm not playing Comrades anymore. I'm playing I'm playing fucking Forrest Gump, running away from the airstrikes, except they're pitcher grenades. Is that what we're playing here? I don't think I want my Commodores to kind of degrade to that level. We're playing Commodores, not we're not simulating. This is not Forrest Gump Simulator 2014, if you know what I'm saying. So. I think those are the 3 biggest problems. But other than that, Crystal Towers is a great map. It's not like the best map out there, but it's definitely entertaining. And me as a rusher, I really like it because it opens up a lot, or it caters to my kind of playstyle, but in a very, very fun way. It's difficult. It's not necessarily like easy as Oil Rig or maybe some other close quarters maps out there, but if you can maneuver the map like I do, like a good rusher does, and in a way where you're very successful, it's very, very fun. And I would say Crystal Tower is probably one of the better maps out there right now, and more people should start playing it. But if people start abusing the weak points of Crystal Tower, like I said, or like that as I mentioned, then I don't. Me personally, you won't be finding me playing on Crystal Tower very much if that happens to be the case. In any case, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed my review on Crystal Tower. If you have any questions about the map that I can answer, or if you guys want me to answer, let me know. Put it in the comment section below. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.